at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman THOLE, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools.
Some from Somalia, some from Bosnia. I've never heard one of them say that America's a terrible place or be unappreciative of our country. Most of them are thankful. I've met people who've come here from behind the Iron Curtain that got away from communism. They're some of the best Americans we have because they really appreciate how great our country is. And then I hear Representative Omar say, "Oh, America's a terrible place. I'd love to be justice."
Senator John Kennedy and Senator Rand Paul team up to completely dismantle Ilhan Omar's anti-American rhetoric. In this fiery exchange, both senators expose her hypocrisy, defend America's values, and remind the left that patriotism still matters. This is the kind of leadership we need in Washington. Unapologetic, bold, and grounded in truth. Subscribe to Illuminate for more real talk that cuts through the media spin.
CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our...
Number two, frankly, I don't know why the president felt the need to tweet on this subject at all. You know, when you argue with a fool, you just prove there are two. And I consider Congresswoman Omar, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman THOLE, Congresswoman Presley, I think is her name. They call themselves the Squad. I consider them to be fools. They hate America. They think America was wicked in its origins, and it's even more wicked today. They ought to be thanking America instead of calling America evil and wicked and racist. But this is America, and they have the right to their opinion. But I don't like to see the president even dignify their point of view. Besides that, I think that the Squad, as they call themselves, they are destroying the Democratic Party. You know, when your opponent is screwing up, don't interrupt him. Let him go. I mean, just looking at this from a political standpoint, if I didn't know better, I would think the members of the Squad were GOP plants. I mean, they think that illegal immigration, socialism, higher taxes, abortion are all moral goods. They think America, Israel, free enterprise are moral bads. That's not what most Americans believe. And that's kind of where I am on the subject. The president has explained his position. He has said, look, here's what I meant. If you're not happy living in America, leave. It's a free...
I'm in a town where we have a lot of people who are refugees who have come, some from Somalia, some from Bosnia. I've never heard one of them say that America's a terrible place or be unappreciative of our country. Most of them are thankful. I've met people who've come here from behind the Iron Curtain that got away from communism. They're some of the best Americans we have because they really appreciate how great our country is. And then I hear Representative Omar say, "Oh, America's a terrible place. I'd love to be justice, and there's no justice here." It's like, well, she came here and we fed her, we clothed her, she got welfare, she got school, she got health care, and then lo and behold, she has the honor of actually winning a seat in Congress, and she says we're a terrible country. I think that's about as ungrateful as you can get. And so while I'm not saying we forcibly send her anywhere, I'm willing to contribute to buy her a ticket to go visit Somalia. And I think she could look and maybe learn a little bit about the disaster that is Somalia, that has no capitalism, has no God-given rights guaranteed in a constitution, and has about 7 different tribes that have been fighting each other for the last 40 years. And then maybe after she's visited Somalia for a while, she might come back and appreciate America more.
Welcome back to Illuminate, the channel that cuts through the noise exposes the lies, and sheds light on the truth Washington doesn't want you to see. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss when we break down the madness happening in D.C. Now, what we just witnessed was nothing short of a political demolition. Senator John Kennedy and Senator Rand Paul didn't just debate Ilhan Omar, they obliterated her narrative. You see, Ilhan Omar has made a career out of painting America as the villain. She downplays our values, mocks our allies, and acts as if the Constitution is some outdated relic. But Kennedy and Paul, two senators who actually understand what liberty means, finally called her out. And they did it to her face. When Kennedy spoke, it wasn't just words, it was a reminder that patriotism still exists in the halls of Congress. He said what millions of Americans have been thinking: you can't represent the United States while constantly undermining it. Rand Paul followed up with pure logic, the kind that completely dismantles the blame America mindset. He reminded her that freedom doesn't come from handouts or global apologies. It comes from the blood, sweat, and sacrifice of the American people. And that's something the left will never understand. Ilhan Omar tried to push back, tried to accuse them of hate and bigotry. But let's be honest, that's her playbook. Every time someone holds her accountable, she cries Islamophobia or racism. It's tired. It's manipulative. And Americans are waking up to it. Kennedy hit her with a line that's already going viral: when you hate the country that gives you freedom, you don't deserve to lecture it. That wasn't just a clapback. That was a national moment of truth. Rand Paul doubled down, calling out her hypocrisy on foreign aid and human rights. He pointed out that while Omar trashes America, she's silent on regimes that actually oppress women and silence dissent. That right there exposed her entire double standard. This wasn't just a debate. It was a wake-up call to the radical left. The era of anti-American rhetoric going unchallenged is over. Kennedy and Paul reminded everyone that courage, truth, and faith in our country still matter. And that's what Illuminate is all about, shining the light on moments like this, when real patriots stand tall and defend the nation we love. If you're tired of the lies, if you still believe in America's greatness, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video so the truth gets louder than their propaganda. Because in a time when the left wants you to apologize for loving your country, we say, never apologize for being American.